Hello, in this tutorial we are going to be designing this block. So to start, just start a new path file, and the instruction for this homework is you're given the front view and the right side view, but your instructor wants you to take this front view and make it the top view. Then you have to create a new front view. And that's what we're going to do. So when you look at it, you just need to look at it, and I know it's a little bit complicated, but the way I see it, it has 4 pieces, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what you're looking at on this side. So to start, click on the top plane, and we are going to start by drawing this piece. That's going to be the first piece because that's on the back. If you look over here, it's on the back. So the top plane, and sketch, and just draw a center rectangle, and the dimension is, because we're drawing that piece, is 1.64, so it's 1.64, and the dimension down is 1.32, so 1.32. And now all you need to do is just draw another line over here, something like this. And we are drawing this piece under this cut. So take a point on your sketch and just put it over here and make that point and this line, make it the midpoint coincident at the midpoint. And now make that point and this, or your origin point, make it vertical. So we have that, and now we need to add the dimension, which is over here 0.3, and the distance, which is over here 1. So this is fully defined. We just need to use the trim tool and trim this part off, so you have something like this. So good. Once you have that, go to your feature, extrude, and we are going to be extruding it up, and we're going to be extruding it up. That feature is over here, so the distance is 1, so we're just gonna make that 1 and click OK. Good. So now we are going to click this top face and sketch. We're going to be drawing this second feature over here. So normal 2, I'm just gonna go normal 2, and I'm gonna use the center rectangle again. Draw something like this and make this line and that edge collinear. So it should be collinear up there because we make it center. And all we need to do is add a dimension now, and this is going to be 0.8, which is right here, 0.8. And we're going to do the same thing, just draw a line, something like this, and make a point over here, and make that point and that line the midpoint, and make that point and the origin point vertical to each other, so it's centered. And we're going to add the dimension, which is 0.64. So from this line to this line is 0.64, and the distance is the same as this 0.3, so we can make this line and that edge collinear to each other. And again, we're going to trim that part off, and we have that feature over here. Then we are going to extrude it. This feature comes all the way up here, so from the back to the front is 1.76, because we already add this extrude 1 and we started from this face. So I'm going to go to feature. It's 1.76. We already added extrude this 1, and we're just going to do 1.76 minus 1, or the answer is going to be 0.76. So 0.76. So that will be the distance. So the distance from the back to the front is going to be 1.76. Good. So moving on. So the next thing we are going to do is, so if you can look, if we look from the front, we have this feature, which is what you're looking at. So moving on, we're going to add the fillet. This has a fillet of 0.12. So fillet 0.12, I'm going to add it over here and click OK. Good. So now if you're looking at it, so this is our top view, and if you're looking at it from the right side view, this is the right side view, and that's what we are going to make next, and that is this side over here. So we are just going to go on the right plane and sketch number 2, and now we are going to just draw a line from this point going up, something like this, and make this line, make sure this line is vertical. And so we have that, and we need to add the dimension from here. This is 0.7, not there, 0.7. This dimension is 2.44. This line is 2.44. The angle is 45, and our sketch is fully defined. So this is what we have if I rotate it this way. So what we're going to do is going to feature extrude, and we are going to offset. The distance is from this midpoint to the outside is 1, because the overall is 2. So from the center to the outside is 1. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to offset it 1. We offset it 1 in this direction, right? Then we are going to change this number to, we are going to reverse this, and instead of blind, we're just going to say up to surface, and we'll click this surface and click OK. The reason why I did it this way is because I always like working with the dimension that is given. So you understand what we did. We offset it 1, which gave us to that edge, and all we did is extrude it from this face to that face, which is we did it in this side. So now we're going to click the right side, the right plane again, and we are going to do the same thing on this side. So sketch on the right plane, number 2, and I'm just going to draw this shape, which is the shape of this little circle thing you see over here. So starting, let's just draw a circle. The distance from the center of that circle to here is 2, and so let's draw another circle over here and make this circle and this circle tangent to each other, and draw a line that is coincident with that circle coming up like that. So I'm just going to trim this part off, and add the dimension to this circle, which is right here, is 0.24, and we're going to draw an arc. So click this edge and just draw an arc, and click a point over here somewhere like this. And what I would do is I would change the view. You can draw a line over here and dimension it 0.3, or what the easier way is you can click this drop down and show the hidden view over here. So once that you have that view, if you look over here, this arc is tangent to that 0.3 line which is coming down. So we can click that arc and that line and make it tangent. I'm just doing it this way to show you other ways you can model stuff. So now this arc is tangent to that. Good. So now, or we could have convert entity to this line, it's the same thing. So, and there's a line coming down, and this circle and that line, it should be tangent to each other. So we have that. All we need to do is trim this part off. So I'm going to trim entity. Let me back up. This is not touching, so I need to make sure this is touching. So I'm going to extend this line there. So make sure they are touching, and now I can trim it off. So I'm trimming this part off, and this sketch is 0.44. Right here, the radius is 0.44. Good. So the only thing we need now is, if you look over here, this comes there and it comes down and it comes back to that edge, because if you look over here, there's a hidden line on the back, which is this chamfer over here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a line from this point here up over there and make the line come up. So we have that, and all we need to do is add a radius to this. The radius is 1.25, and we're going to move that. And another thing we need to do is the distance from this right here, the distance from this edge to this, to where this end is 0.1. So that's what we're going to, from this line to this edge is 0.1. So, and now we can just trim this part out and make sure this line and this line are collinear to each other. So, and another one we need, another dimension we need is 0.15. From the back to this edge is 0.152, and we are missing some more dimension. Make sure this line is, see, I didn't add a vertical constraint to that line. Make sure that line is vertical, and we're just missing one more, and the distance for this line is right here. It's 0.12. So we just need this distance, and it's 0.12. So we have a sketch that is fully defined. So you should, when it's all said and done, you should have something like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. So once we have that, and I'm going to change this view back, I really don't need it. So we have something like this. Again, we're going to go feature, extrude in the opposite direction. Again, we're going to offset 1, and we're doing it in the opposite direction. So when you offset it, it should be somewhere over here. All you just need to do is change up to surface, and you want to select this surface and click OK. Good. So the next thing we need to do is add the chamfer. If you look over here, there's a chamfer of 0.06 on the back, so we're just going to do the same thing. So over here, chamfer 0.06 by 45, and click up here and click this edge and click this edge, not the front edge. I'm gonna do that again. So chamfer 0.06, this edge and this two back edge. Alright, and I'll click OK. And a good way when you're modeling this, doing any modeling, is when you are not sure if you're on the right track, just come down, change it to the hidden, and if your stuff is matching what they have in here, then that's a good indication you're on the right part. As you can see, everything is just the same way they have it. And if I go to my top view, it's the same thing. So, and you can see the hidden line. This is the chamfer running all the way to the back right here. So good. So that's just a good way to check your work, to make sure you're modeling it right. And the next thing we need to do now is click this face, sketch, number 2, and we're going to draw a circle and make that circle and this edge concentric with each other, and the dimension is 0.312. And we are going to extrude it, feature, extrude cut, through all, and click OK. So we have that circle going through everything. I'm going to change my image quality because I feel like it always slows everything down. Change the image quality. Alright, now click this front face and sketch, and we're going to draw a slot over here, just something like this. Make this the center of it and your origin point vertical, and it is right here. The dimension is 0.25, and we can bring this down, and the dimension to the center line of from the top edge to the center line is 0.38. So from here to that line is 0.38, and the distance to this line from center to center is 0.44, and that dimension is right here, 0.44. So now once that is fully defined, feature, extrude cut, and we're going to extrude it cut, but extrude cut to the back. From that face to the back is going to be 0.7, which is right here, and click OK. Again, click on this face, sketch, center rectangle, again something like that. Make this the center point and the origin point vertical to each other, and just drag this down until this is coincident with that edge, and drag this up until this is also coincident with that edge. And once you have that, the distance is 0.32. So the distance, this dimension is 0.32. That is right here, and this part is symmetrical, as you can see, 0.32 and 0.16. And now we have that feature. We're going to go feature, extrude cut, and we're going to extrude cut it back, which is right here, 0.04. Let me zoom in so you can see. If you can see it right here, is 0.04. So we're going to extrude cut 0.04 and click OK. Good. So we only have two more features to draw. We have the hole at the bottom. So click on your hole wizard and just pick a position. So you pick the position tab, click this button, and just click somewhere over there. Now make this point and this origin point vertical to each other. Then once you've done that, then you just need to add the dimension, which is 0.82. From this edge to the center line of that point is 0.82, which is right here. And once we've done that, we're going to go back, click OK, go back to the type. We have this. It is going to be NC inch drill 5/8, and the distance, the dimension is right here, is 0.625, which is 5/8. And you can also click the show decimal values, which is 0.625 over here, and we need to select this as blind, and it is 0.38. So if you look at it, it's 0.38 over here. So 0.38 needs to be in here, and click OK. Good. So the last one we need to do is these two holes over here. So again, click on the hole wizard and come to the position tab, and you want to select this face and just select 2 points, and we have the dimensions over here. The dimension from this point to this edge is 0.22. The dimension from here to this edge is 0.76. The dimension from this edge to the center line, center point, is 0.26, excuse me, and the dimension from here down is 0.76. Good. So those 2 points are black, which means it's fully defined. So now you just need to go back to the type. You want to select the thread, the straight tap thread, straight tap thread, and select NC inch bottom tapping, and you want to come down. I always like show the custom sizing. So come down and you want to look for a quarter by 20, which is this one. If you look over here, it is a quarter by 20 UNC, and the thread is a quarter by 20, and you have a 0.20 here, which is what we have in here. So type that number in here. The blind, it needs to go down 0.05, so all the way down 0.05, So over here you type in 0.5 and the blind 2 needs to be 0.4 right here. So you type in 0.4 in here. So the first one is 0.5 and the second one is 0.4, and everything looks good. So you should have these values in there, and click OK. And there you go, and there you have this part. It is completely done. So now the top view, the front view where you have this is now your top view, and your right side view is still this one. So anyway, that's how you make this part, and thank you, and I will see you in the next tutorial. If you have any question, just leave a question in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.